Hello there, and welcome back to my channel, Remember and Rise, where I help you to remember who you truly are and become the divine, integrated human that you came here to be. And today we have our first guest for the channel, which I'm just so excited to have this gorgeous woman here, my lovely friend, Molly Faith. Molly is an initiated crown priestess, a mystic, an incredibly beautiful, talented. Oh, 2 seconds, something just popped up my computer here. Sorry, guys. Talented tarot reader. She is the host of Crossroads Meets the Ocean and the podcast, which I had the privilege of being on very recently, Walk with Faith with Molly by Molly. Molly is dedicated to helping people heal on the spiritual path and navigate this divine, integrated human experience. So, welcome, Molly. I'm so delighted you're our first guest. Thank you so much for being here.
Colleen, I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm your first guest, and I'm so honored. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
it's just so lovely to have you. So we've just been having a gorgeous chat here. Um, I just want to know so much about your path. I have shared on this channel how my awakening really, really changed my life. So I was not born awake. I was always an empath, but in terms of spirit, that was a completely different and actually quite scary world for me. So I would love to know how you came to do the incredible work that you do. How did you come to be this incredibly gifted reader, healing facilitator from a young age? So take it away, Mom.
It's so in Thank you so much, by the way. I just want to say thank you. I'm so honored to meet you. Thank you for having me on here. And you're just such a beautiful soul. And I'm so excited to share this with you and your viewers. So I did
It's so
want to say that.
lovely. I just love this world where you start collaborating with these incredible souls and make gorgeous connections and friendships. And it's so
Yeah.
important because
Right.
for so long, people that were awakening felt very, very isolated. I know I did, Molly. So
I,
it's just, I'm loving this. So yeah,
I know.
tell us all about you.
Okay. So it's very interesting because I feel like I was always awake, just in a different way. So when I was a little girl, so it runs in my family bloodline spirituality. I feel like there was definitely the dualities in both sides of my family. One side was more secretive, and I don't know much about them. That's on my father's side.
Okay.
Um, there was a lot of theology. Spirituality in that way. On my mother's side, he was what I do know is a light worker ahead of his time. He was a very enlightened being. I do feel like he was a star seed. That's come through in messages, but he was here to help assist and operate in the light as well. So for me, but I didn't really know much of this. Most of my family passed, my grandparents passed um, before I even met them, except for my grandfather and grandmother on my father's side. But what I noticed as a little girl is my grandfather on my mom's side, who I believe was a star seed, star being, um, and a light worker, he came to me when I was about 7 years old. That's where I feel like it really started. I remember sleeping
Mm-hmm.
and waking up at 3 a.m. My eyes just opened. And I was looking at my closet that was closed. I had this very long white closet and it was closed. And I would lay in bed and I had all my little stuffed animals with me. I was secure. And there's my grandfather, who I had never met, who had passed, that my
And
mom
he
put.
passed. he
He
had
was,
passed
he had
at
passed. I
this
had never
moment,
met him.
left the
Yeah.
physical realm.
He was, yeah. He was no longer in the physical and he was just looking right at me and I could see him vividly. I was sitting there going, oh my gosh. I
Wow.
knew what he looked like because we had photos of him. We had his military photos. He was in intelligence in the military, and my mom praised him and talked so highly of him and said what a kind, loving man he was. But he's staring at me, and he just looked and sat there. And I could pretty much see the majority of him. It was almost like this white figure just looking at me, very gentle. And I froze and I didn't know how to take that experience. Um, and I told my mother, she was not surprised. She always wanted to discuss spirituality with me, but I was never really ready to hear about it.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of let that go. Now, a little while later, my grandfather on my father's side had passed, and I was there. During that process, there was an open casket. I was communicating with my grandfather in front of everybody. And I didn't realize that people did not believe. So I think I was awake and I didn't think anything of it. Since I had that other experience, I thought it was just normal. Okay, now I'm communicating with my other grandfather. And I'm laughing and I'm talking to him and we're having this full conversation and you should have seen my entire family's face. Like they were frozen and they turned like ghost white.
So
They're
when you
like
say communicating, were you telepathically communicating or were you verbally having a blather with this?
telepathically communicating with him and having this really lighthearted conversation
Love it.
as and this and mind you, my grandfather on my father's side was very serious, very business, and he barely ever smiled. So everyone saw him as this like really tough guy. But I'm sitting here like having this lighthearted conversation because, he's now in spirit form, energetic form.
My God.
He's no longer tied to the chains of this earthly realm and our ego mind and shame, guilt, pain. He's free. So, yeah, I'm telepathically communicating and having this lighthearted conversation, and my whole family is going, oh my gosh, what is going on with this?
And when you say theology in your family, was there religion as well? Yeah.
It's so interesting because I've tried to ask my uncle who's estranged from me. I'm pretty much estranged from the majority of my family on that side because they're very secretive and they operate, I would say, on my journey more on like the 3D or lower vibrational energy, more about money and control. And so that doesn't really align for me in my path at all.
Mhm.
Um, I do feel like I was born into karmic family members to break those cycles. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I saw a
Exchange.
lot of it. Yeah, I saw a lot of it occur and it really divided our family, caused a lot of hurt and conflict. So I've been working on breaking those cycles and I really think I'm doing a good job. So,
Yeah. Sounds
um,
like you are.
yeah, but I've asked. I mean, I did get a box of documents sent after my grandmother passed, of what was another part of my awakening because I feel like I've gone through like many different awakenings. One that felt just very natural as a child. So in those documents that I received, there was documents from like other countries, the theological schools for my father, name changes. I'm going,
Wow.
who are you people? Like,
Yeah.
who
What
are
family did I pick this lifetime? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. And it's like priests from theological schools in other countries in different languages and for my father and this and that. And I'm going, whoa. But when I tried to ask, my uncle said, I'm really sorry, Molly. I wish I could give you some sage advice, but I have to go now. hung up the phone.
Wow,
Nothing.
really?
No information. Yeah, so I don't really know. I do know my mother before she passed, she did want to divulge some information to me. I never got a chance to get that information. My grandma, my grandfathers, my father, and my mother are all with me in spirit. So the only information I get is when it comes through. I will get messages from them. I do have ideas of what has happened, but
Yeah.
I know my job. I know my job is to break these cycles and to realign our path. It's very interesting,
It
but
seems to be that Kaelin facilitators were here as pattern breakers. That's what we're here to do because we are born with such an innate sense of right and wrong. And when we see the wrong, when we feel it, we can't just ignore it, put the phone down, say, I can't talk to you about that. It's like, well, wait, no, wait a wee minute. That's just so wrong. Like the sense of injustice is very, very visceral within us.
right.
But it sounds like your awakening was from such an early age because you had to do this intergenerational healing. You were like plot there as the light worker in this family
Right. Yeah.
full of secrets, and you're like, no, wait a wee minute, here, I wanna know. That was like
I'm very
me. I
inquisitive.
was like, this is not right. The way that we are being taught, I was brought up in a cult. So I remember putting my hand up, like, you did not do that, Molly. You just did not do that. But there was just this pressing question. And I think I was about 8 years of age. And I put this hand up about the story about the Garden of Eden and about why Eve actually listened to the snake because she'd been in the Garden of Eden for such a long time and she
Hmm.
knew the animals didn't speak. So, and out of the mouth of babes, nobody had even really thought to question that. And there's, putting my hand up at about 8 years of age or something, and was no, a bit like your uncle. I can't answer that. There was no answer at all.
And you know what? So even later, I went to go visit my cousins in Los Angeles. Everyone's in LA. And I said, I've been trying to get information on our family. Were they spiritual? Did they do this? Could have sworn I saw what looked like a secret society ring. I'm going to say that much on the person. I was like, that's interesting. But I said, did our family like believe in any of this? On my dad's side, or no, we don't believe in any of that. No, we have no information. We don't know what you're talking about. No, we don't talk to these people. It's like a closed book. Like nobody wants to share anything.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, they're like, once they're gone, they're gone. That's it. But it's so they don't believe, in energy, or they're saying they don't want to talk about it. So I could never get information. What's so interesting is I can't get information from the living, but I can get truth and clarity and information from the dead. My
Yeah.
beautiful ancestors and it's like, thank you guys. Isn't that
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to pause there, like for our listeners. Molly mentioned the phrase starseed. So that basically means that you resonate with having had another lifetime on another planet other than planet Earth. So if you resonate with the stars, if you have a feeling like a longing that you just want to go home, you feel like Earth isn't really your home, the chances are that you are a star seed. And I just wanted to clarify that. The other thing about the being able to speak to your ancestors and get the answers. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like what we see in the mirror is like the tiniest part of who we are. And when we lose this physical astronaut suit, as I saw when I was awakening, that energy is still there. It's still there. It is still very much with you. And if you're extremely sensitive, you
Right.
can pick up on it and have those conversations like you were able to do. Let me ask you, was that quite isolating for you in a family that were like part of a secret society and you were communicating with these spirits? Was it frightening? Was it isolating? How did it feel, Molly?
What's really interesting about my mother and my father is they knew what I didn't know as a child, and they actually moved us away from that entire family. My mom was an only child, and her father had passed, so he was no longer there for her. And it was basically all my father's side of the family, who my dad was my best friend. But they moved us away from everyone, hours and hours away. And
Wow.
they did not like that. And so growing up in I grew up in Palm Springs, California, a small town. Everyone knew each other. They felt safe there. I did still visit my grandma, who was another one of my best friends. My mom too, loved my grandma. She was the most beautiful. She is, I should say, she is the most beautiful spirit. I
Oh,
love her. Um, I did feel isolated as a little girl. I didn't understand. I mean, I was very shy, very introverted and quiet. And I couldn't really understand why people wanted to be around me. People like flocked to me, but I kind of wanted to just be by myself.
mhm.
I was very shy. I felt my mom would ask, "Where is Molly? Where is Molly?" And I'd be like talking and playing by myself. She's like, "Who is she talking to?" She knew, you know? So I was always communicating, or I was out in the earth as well. And I was like grounding myself at a really young age and like out, oh yeah, walking through the desert, sitting on the stones, playing with the stones, feeling them. It was like that was what brought me comfort. And the animals, just being around all the different animals, you know. So, and you know, I have Puppy Moon. She is my familiar. She is always with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I don't know if I felt so much isolated. I feel like I felt more comfortable. Not with humans, which is now though, at this point on my journey, I love interacting. I love meeting beautiful souls. I love being able to guide and help. But I feel like at that young age, I was not ready for that. I was growing. There
Yeah.
was a lot of growth
Developing.
developing. There was a lot that I had to, and a lot of integration, a lot of knowledge. I needed that time
Mhm. And we
just
do,
with,
we need to kind of remember who we are and why we're here. I know for me, I was really, really empathic. So I would be able to tell how someone was feeling by just looking at them. Like I would get on a bus and somebody had downloaded their whole story, like within the first five
hmm
minutes, they go away feeling as light as a feather. And even as a child, I'd
It's
be
true.
like, what was that? Like just
It's true.
just one of those faces. And so I think when you're around all those different energies and you're integrating that and you're in your child astronaut suit, if you like, and I certainly hadn't remembered who I truly was. So it was really, really confusing. So in order to gather in order to really for sanity as well, you would find me either like you were saying about the rocks. I used to love playing with rocks, and I didn't really know why. I just thought I wanted to be a geologist at the time. I just loved the solidity and the safety of rocks. It's crazy. But books for me, Molly, because I was in a family full of people that would tell me that my gifts were evil, like they weren't of the light. So you would find me in the corner with a book. So I feel like as sensitive children coming in, we definitely have a specific path. I definitely feel that, like my friends that have awakened and particularly spiritual, none of us have had a particularly easy
No.
awakening. No, but that's for a purpose. There's a reason behind that.
Absolutely. And I want people to understand that these are beautiful gifts that we've been given, and it's not an easy journey. Sometimes we forget, like I know for me as a child, I will always remember those experiences, but then the journey that we go through up, through our teens to the adult years, we could have so many towers, so many ups and downs, so many things that try to possibly pull us away from our destined path that we're
Mhm.
supposed to do. And that's part of the journey too, because we have to truly remember who we are and what we're supposed to do here, and know that we can get through it all and really embrace our abilities and our gifts. So, like, for me, even though that happened as a child, there were so many things that happened up until this point that kind of most people think, well, did that derail your path? No, it actually empowered my path
Yeah, yeah.
and had me like really take back my power so I could help people.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When you look back at some of your most challenging moments, like the dark nights of the soul, that seems to be the phrase, doesn't it? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. The dark night of the soul. It's certainly difficult, but there's not just one dark night of the soul. There's many dark nights of the soul on this path. And every time, Molly, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, every time I look back on, I mean, the amount of spiritual tantrums that I've had, like throwing the dummy right out the pram. Like I remember one time in particular, 2017, and I used to say like I got knocked off my unicorn saddle. So it was all about light and sunshines and rainbows, and it was like, no, there's another side to this path. And
Absolutely.
every time I look back on those darker times, every time I have seen the reason for it and I have seen how strong I have become through that. And here's the thing, as a healing facilitator, as healing facilitators and guides, how can we take our clients through the depths of the human experience if we haven't lived it ourselves?
Oh, absolutely. We have to. And I think that's something too that we have to instill in people. I feel like the conditioning of shaming the darkness, shaming the pain we've been through, shaming the trauma, shaming the cycles, like as people would say, karmic cycles, which is just all about learning and growing, right? So it's like, oh, you've been through that? Oh, no, 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 no. Those experiences are not who we are, but they helped build us on our journey. So it's nothing to shame. In order for us to be able to truly empathize and have that compassion and understanding, we have to walk through it as well. We have to see it. And then we have to be able to be open enough and vulnerable enough to share those experiences so we can connect and relate and be like, it's okay. I've been there. I see it. And you can do it too. And this is how we can do it together. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own journey. And so, but we've all been through the storms. That's where we connect.
That's how we end up doing what we do, and that's what I want to ask you. So you had the awakenings, you were able to speak to spirit, your family took you away from the secret society, we're just going to call that for now. What was
Family, yeah.
next? What brought you to doing the work that you do today?
So I feel like the one thing, and maybe this doesn't resonate for everyone, but it does for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of my, okay, so I don't have an organized religion, but I'm highly godly and very spiritual. And when my grandfather on my dad's side passed, my dad actually stopped believing in God because he was praying and praying and praying, and God did not answer his prayers. It's because they were not for my dad to take. It was not to take the pain of my grandfather away and give it to my father. This was my grandfather's path to walk that he had signed up for on this earth.
Okay.
Um, and so what fell to the wayside, I feel like, was the lack of faith in God. So what I saw happen in my family was everything fell apart, literally. All
Yeah.
their blessings, oh, everything was stripped. Everything. They had so much. They were so blessed. And everything fell apart. It was like their own tower moments that I got to see firsthand in our family. But I didn't realize what it was at the time. I remember going to a Catholic church and picking up a rosary, and my mom saw it and got so angry at me and got rid of it. Even though what I didn't realize, it called to me because, not because I'm Catholic, but because one of my guides is actually a nun.
Okay.
So it's for her.
Uh-huh.
So she wanted me to have it for a purpose. And I have it here on my Bovita, my altar, which is all white and it honors everybody. Um,
Can I just stop you there for our listeners? Can you explain a wee bit when you say one of your guides? What do you mean by that?
so we have ancestors, okay? We have a lot. Not just our ancestors that have recently passed. We have so many. Um, and then we have 9 spirit guides that walk with us on this plane, this earth, and we are here to empower them, to work with them, to elevate them. They're here to work with us. My main guide is a gypsy. I have, and everybody all in due time, in the right time, will find out who their guides are. So my gypsy's name is Isabella Rose. Um,
That's my middle name. Isabella's my middle name.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Crossroads meets the Ocean Rose. It's
Ah,
not my channel. It isn't really not. It's the Divine's channel. Um, so when every time I say welcome to my channel, I'm like, is it really?
welcome to our channel.
Our channel.
Yeah.
I mean, I should. So, but she is my main guide. I have a Siberian Knight as one of them. He has made himself very known. Yes. I have a nun. I have a Native American chief. I have a beautiful spirit. Her name is Margaret, and she looks like she was in Victorian times, almost like the Mary Poppins kind of look. Um, so Mary Magdalene, um, I have Jesus here.
Yeah.
We have,
Yeshua.
yeah, I have so many, So we over time, so we have 9 guides that walk with us. And then we have more guides than just that, right? We have ascended masters,
Mhm.
we have our star guides, our I have seen one of mine. She is beautiful. I believe she comes from Lemuria. I'm still learning more,
Yeah.
but so we have different levels or different types, I should say. We have our angels. We have 2 guardian angels that are with us. They are there to help us on this journey. We have archangels. We have a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
Incredible. So how did you come to tarot? How did you reach that part that you share this information? Because a lot of people on this channel might not even understand about the guides and the angels. So thank you so much for explaining that in so much detail. I didn't actually realize we had 9 like core ones. I always
Mhm.
laugh at mine. I'm like, they must be like, oh my goodness, she's hard work.
We have a lot, yeah, but we do have 9 main. Um,
That's so. How did you come to do what you do? Because your channel, when I came across your channel, your feed is full of readers and all the rest of it, and there was just something so authentic about the way you read cards. And I don't read cards at all. I read energy, but I don't read cards. I don't read tarot. And I felt so safe listening to your channel, Molly.
Oh, thank
So incredibly safe because there's such a truth and an authenticity
you.
that comes through. I used to be really quite scared of tarot reading.
Mhm.
And then when I found out about manifestation and how you co create, I thought, what is the point in listening to tarot
Mhm.
readers of any kind? And then the more I go on in my journey, the more I realize actually, if it doesn't resonate, it's not for you because it's actually confirming what your intuition is already telling
Right. So I'm a bit different, I suppose. I I can read the cards, but I remember, okay, so how I got there. So I was talking about my family and what I felt like they were missing, and I got to witness what happened. The devastation, really, of losing everything that they had. When my father passed, I met a man, and the way what was programmed into me was get married. I had been married once before, but it was basically just to have my son. It was puppy love, to have my son, and that didn't last long. But I did encounter a man who my mother said, "This man's going to love you forever. This is who you need to marry. He's going to take care of you forever." And of course, the 3D matrix is, picket white fence. You have everything, that you need, and you're comfortable, and you be this homemaker, this wife, this trophy wife. Everything had to be perfect. That was actually one of the most, okay, I want to say devastating, but actually no, greatest blessings
me. Okay.
that happened to me, because what happened on that journey is I became so detached from myself. Um, my guides, my angels, and God Himself, and I was so focused on the material. And He was being so spiritually sensitive, and then being with somebody who was so detached from their soul.
Mm-hmm.
My life force, everything, I was being drained so terribly, that I got very, very sick. But my guides were coming through, showing me. And sometimes when our guides come through, they're not gentle.
No.
Okay. They're not. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to baby you. No, I was in a massive car accident. Things were being brought to my vision to like, Molly, this is not aligned for you. This is going to continue to happen. This is depleting to your soul. You're going to get sick. I got so sick when I was with this person, very, very ill, until I had to make a change. I did get a message. You need to start going to Sedona. You need to start doing cleanses. You need to do meditation. You need to do past life regression. I'm like, where is all this coming from? Okay,
Yeah.
I did. But see, that wasn't enough. Not for my path. Even though I went to go see many different healers, it was not enough for me in particular. I had to take the initiative to change my entire path. And that's when I went and I met my old godmother. She actually saved my life because
Wow.
she told me what I needed to do to strengthen my spirit, my soul back to God, my higher self, and build up my spiritual army. And that's when she said, "Do you pray to God?" And I said, "No, you need to go home and start praying now." She said, "This is what I want you to do." And that's when I built my Boveda. I started heavily on my prayers. She said, "Honor your ancestors. They're trying to speak to you. They have been warning you. You need to connect with your guardian angels. You need to pray directly to God Himself." She made a point of saying that to me. I will never forget that. And then I had to go through some extensive cleanses. What I saw in those cleanses was quite extraordinary, because I could actually see with my vision the negative energy that was coming off of me. Um, and things shifted. And at that point, as I was so devoted to prayer, so devoted to my journey, there was another collapse. That false life of mine was being stripped away. Answer to my prayers, right?
Mm.
Everything was being taken. I was being emptied out.
Yeah.
But what was shifting was my health. No longer was I mean, I could not eat, Shawneen, everybody. I could not eat. I was so deathly ill that I transformed. My body healed through my prayers, through my connection. Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't
By
walk
connecting
even
to your true self,
to my true self.
getting rid of the toxicity and
Yep,
connecting with your true self. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was amazing. It was hard. Not saying it's easy because it's not. And it takes consistency and that work. But I know it works because I saw it firsthand with me. My son has seen it too. Um, but we have to have the courage to let the things fall away that don't work for us anymore. We can't hang on to it. We're so much more than than what people realize.
We're so
And
stronger than we realize. It's
we have help too. We
it's
just need to ask
incredible.
for
It is
it.
incredible when you go through these, we'll just call them dark nights of the soul. And I say to my clients, it's like vibrations. Obviously, it's vibrations, but it's a bit like, because part of the spiritual awakening journey, and I've actually just spoken about this in this channel, is people leave your life, family members, close friends, they leave your life. And that's one of the most difficult parts of it, I would say.
Yeah,
And the way I explain it to my clients is it's like music. So say you're like really into like heavy metal rock, right? And that's just been your thing for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden you're hanging about with people that are into the heavy metal rock and all the rest of it. And then all of a sudden you're listening to pop or classical. And it's like that vibration, it's not better or worse. I'm really clear about that, but it's a completely different vibe that you are emitting.
right,
So when you're in that different vibration, the the ones that are vibrating at a different frequency than you, because we're all vibrating at different frequencies, they
exactly.
feel it. And it's like that, isn't it? It's like a
Right.
jarring,
It
and
is.
it just falls away. So it's definitely one of the more challenging parts of the journey, I would say.
It is because we have to remember it's okay to mourn that old self or the old relationships. We cannot pretend that that didn't exist. We honor it, we mourn it, however you want to do it, and process those feelings so we can release them and allow the newness to come in. Because,
Absolutely.
because it
We
is,
were
it's, yeah.
sorry, no, carry on what we were going to say there.
I like to think of the analogy of like the funeral versus the celebration of life. It's we are supposed to mourn that part of us, but it's also to celebrate it too. It was a beautiful part. It made us a piece of who we are. It was an experience. And what can we take from that? Let's honor it. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. I had a breakthrough with my ex-husband um, about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
This was so beautiful. After everything, all the tumultuous experiences and the pain, everything, which it was really bad. I was able, I got this download or this feeling that washed over me. Because he had reached out about a month prior and he wanted to just check on me. And I think he's going through something. And I've already forgiven him. But there was something that needed to come up. And I'm sitting there getting ready for work. And I said, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I actually texted him. I said, I want to say thank you to you for everything, all the experiences. I literally am where I am, or I have realized who I am because of part of those experiences. Thank you. I want the best for you. I want you to be so happy and so blessed. He texted me back and he was like, oh my gosh.
My
Like it was
goodness.
this peaceful breakthrough, which what people need to realize when you can fully forgive and want the best for everyone, it is this energetic cord that goes like, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It is
and
like a divine elixir. Forgiveness is a divine, that's what's coming through, a divine elixir. When you do that, and you have to do the inner work to get there, but when you do that inner work, and this river of compassion that flows through you, that's the divine elixir. That's not necessarily coming from the human self. That's you getting help. That's your bigger self going,
oh,
this
so
contract's done, darling. You
it's
can
so done.
let this go. And that compassion, the inevitable outcome of that is forgiveness. So that's just such a beautiful, beautiful outcome. Thank you so much for sharing that with
Oh
us.
my gosh. And what I went through was it was like walking through the depths of hell in that because like I was saying, I mean there was like alcoholism, abuse, physical, emotional abuse, um, infidelity. I mean, I was devastated and heartbroken in that. So to be at the lowest of the low, to feel such pain, to go to that point of going, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, wow. It was,
Miraculous.
oh yeah. And we're like so at peace. Like we are good. It's
Well
like,
done. Well
yeah,
done,
it's
you.
doable. It's doable.
It's completely doable, and that's the thing I was saying to you before we came on. It's like we have to be able to go to those depths with compassion for the people that we are here to help.
Absolutely.
Can't
That's
do that from a Pollyanna view of life. That seems to be the path of healing facilitators, that we go through the depths in different ways, different windy paths, in
right.
order to be the person that we decided we were going to be, in order to fulfill this mission, to help people remember who they are and to help them remember that they have the strength and that light within them to get through life's trials and tribulations, but not with toxic positivity, as we were
Well,
talking
we
about
talked about
before.
that.
It's like, I love the way Abraham Hicks puts it. Actually, it's like you don't get into your car and there's no petrol in the tank. You just put a big happy sticker on it and expect the
No,
car to go.
you can't.
We need to shine a light on those darker emotions, shine a light on those blocked energies, and
Absolutely.
allow it to flow through. It's so damaging to suppress our feelings. It's
We
so,
cannot.
so damaging to just pretend it isn't happening. And my goodness me, you will
Right.
know it takes courage to sit with your feelings. It takes courage to sit and look at the depths of your emotions and let them move through you.
Oh, what you said just hit me so deeply. We cannot bury. When we bury those emotions, that's where illness is. That's where numbness, that's where addictions, that's where abuse. We cannot. But what is so important is we have the power. People need to be reminded, okay, we cannot bury these emotions. We have to shine a light. We have to acknowledge them, feel them, love them. You are lovable. You can do it. You can get through it. When we bury it is where things, the illness and all this dense, painful emotion, everything starts to fester and manifest, right? We have the power to speak, feel, create what we want. So once we can dive deep and go through all that and feel it, we have the power to really make the transformation occur for our healing. We've only been told, though, of what we can't do. No,
Yeah,
you can do it
yeah.
because you've seen it. You have the ability, but these are the steps that need to be taken. It's going to take diligence, discipline, hard work, acknowledgement, feeling that feeling. But I'm going to tell you what can occur if you decide is a beautiful transformation of healing. But it's this whole stage. So it's not like just sit there and be like, we just talked about this, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy.
Oh God, no.
That's not
It's
gonna,
like, and your
that's gonna,
subconscious mind's going, yeah, really, are you? Like I shared
it's like, what is all this other stuff you've got to address in here?
I shared this recently on an interview I did, and I remember doing my deep shadow work recently. Last year, yeah, last year. And I'm incredibly visual, like you, okay? And I remember seeing this visual and it was just perfect. So it's like your conscious self thinks it's on a path. This is what I want, and these are the steps that I'm going to take to get it. And you're blindly doing that. And I saw this visual so clearly when I was in the depths of my shadow work, and it was the guys that drive the sleds of the husky dogs,
Hmm.
right? So that's the conscious mind. This is the direction that we're going in. This is the path that we're taking. And then the husky dogs are like your subconscious, your inner child, the one that's had all those wounds still to be healed, still to be looked at. And they're like, really, is that right? They're going in the other direction. So
I
you're
know.
driving the sled forward and the husky, and you're just going around in circles.
That's right.
And it was such a powerful visual and made so much sense. So until you can speak to your husky dogs with love and compassion, you're going to just keep going around in circles.
Of course, yeah, there's things that we are not aware of that we have to dive deep within. There's limiting beliefs, fear-based beliefs, trauma, things that, from our ancestors, from our bloodline, from our childhood, from different dimensions or different, I mean, there's just so much that we need to be able to sit with ourselves and address the things deep within because we may have a vision on the outside of what we can see, but there are so many things that are unseen that are going to end up coming to the surface because you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm manifesting this, but it's going that way. Well, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Your husky dogs are going in the
are
other
going that way.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
So
true.
we could talk about this all night, and I think I'm just going to have you back on. Tell my viewers a wee bit of how the the tarot reading is healing and helpful because you really help your clients. I would say confirm that they are powerful. Their own intuition is, oh, see the cards that you're reading, it's, oh my goodness, I was thinking about that. So you are confirming that we have the power, but you also bring out the shadow aspects as well. So can you just explain a wee bit about how tarot works for our listeners?
I think I'm a bit different when it comes to the tarot. So I remember through what's called a Misa, through many different high priests and high priestesses, they said Molly is a powerful espiritista. It's a spiritist. So when I read, so there's many forms of divination that I do that I'm going to be incorporating more of. But when I do my readings, the way I see, so I'm getting messages. I'm getting downloads and messages, right? So even if something comes out, I'm getting messages from, let's say, my guardian angels, my gypsy, my guides. We're all communicating. So I can also see different timelines occurring,
Yeah.
which is so cool because I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? Like I can see this is going to happen. Now this is going to happen. This is going to happen. If they choose that path, then this is going to play out. So I can see it's almost like a TV to where I'm getting visions, but I'm also getting messages like telepathic communication coming in. So even if something comes out, they're like, no, Molly, that's not exactly what it is. This is what's going on here. I'm like literally communicating as like a medium,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a bit different with the cards. The cards will come out, but the different messages that I will receive are the different words. So the way the divine speaks, just like I was reading an old reading of mine, the you have to interpret it in certain ways. There may be messages that will come out. Just like I did a reading, it was like somebody needs to put roses by their window, pink roses. There's a purpose for that. Now, it may resonate for some people, but there may be a healing purpose
Mhm.
that the divine is saying
Mhm.
that we may not understand at this time, but they want you to put pink roses by your kitchen window. So interesting. I may not know exactly what that means, but I trust my guides and
Yeah.
they're giving this information for a purpose and it will come out at a later date. So that's kind of how I read, but I can also see the different timelines, the different people and individuals. And I want people to understand that this is what is possible if you make these choices in your life. And then also, what will come through, like in my readings, is some sort of protective or healing technique that usually will come through, especially with my clients. Like it'll come through like this is what they need to do for
Mhm.
their health.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I can tell them that, or I can feel people's pain.
Mhm.
So if I'm reading for somebody, I'm like, if somebody has wrist problems, then they're guiding you to do this for your wrist. And how does this connect to this chakra? Or what is blocking here? So that's kind of how it works for me. It's a little bit different. Um, I hope I explained that properly. Did
Yeah,
I?
you explained that beautifully, especially about the different timelines. And I used to really wonder how it all worked. I really did when I was awakening, and like I stayed away from tarot for a long, long time because it just wasn't my vibration at the time. I hadn't quite managed to see the light in that. I think because of the way that I was brought up, that was very, very dark. That was very evil. And actually, that was just another way of controlling us, wasn't it? But the thing about it makes so much sense now because as we work with energy, and I work with energy to remove the blockages in my clients and their inner child healing work and all the rest of it, we're all connected. So it
Hmm.
makes sense that, because what I was seeing in my head when you were talking about that was like a flow chart, Molly. So it was like, if you do
Yeah,
that, this will happen. If you do that, this will, do you know what I
right.
mean? And it just makes so much sense. And the cards are really just then like a tool for your intuition, for your specific gifts. And when you know that we are all connected, we're all this beautiful, not mass, like massive energy, divine light in these human astronaut suits, it completely makes sense that we can all do this. Would you agree with me there? We can all
Absolutely.
tap into this. We can tap into this universal field.
I feel like that's what I try and teach people too with what I do is that they have the ability. they are capable. That's what I was saying earlier is like we've been told what we can't do. No, you all have the ability. It's everyone has their own gifts. But if you tap into it and you train yourself, you're going to have a specific way of doing it, your own gift
Mhm.
of reading or energy work or whatever it is for you, but you are gifted. It's within you. You have the ability. You can. So that's really important to show people that they can do it. And I try and teach people that, like I give them tools that they can utilize, that they can expand on or add to their spiritual toolbox on their journey.
Mhm.
So I love doing that too, because everyone has the ability. They can do
Exactly.
it.
It's just a case of
Yeah,
honing those particular gifts. So whatever way that you feel that you tap into your intuition, if you can feel things, then you're clairsentient. If you just suddenly just know something, claircognizance, all the different clairs, we all have them. We just
right.
have these human layers over them. And when you release those human layers just
Gotta
through
get
like
rid of it.
journaling,
Yeah.
energy work, yoga, whatever it is for you, and everybody's different.
Everyone's
Everybody
different.
finds their innate sense of self in completely different ways. Art, creativity,
Right.
meditation, yoga. There's so many different ways. But when you get really down to it, we are all divine beings with human astronauts suits. That's
Absolutely. I agree completely. We all are. It's
it.
just we're all on these different individual paths, so we're gonna have different ways. But yeah, we are all these beautiful divine beings. We just need to remember who we are and our gifts and our abilities. And I think that's what we do, both of us, is we are able to remind people of who they are and what they are capable of.
What a
You know what
gift.
was so cool, Shawneen, and I
Tell me.
loved how we're all connected? Someone on the channel, on the Crossroads channel, just commented, Molly, I would think something and then you would say it. I would literally, because we are all connected, our guides can see. Like there is so much.
Yeah.
There's beauty out there, so much divinity, so much connection. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. When I'm working with a client and I'm taking them through, like say I'm taking them through their energetic system or we're going through a particular visualization, they're way ahead of me. Like I'm talking like, you're on top of a mountain. They're like, I was on the top of a mountain like 3 minutes ago. Like I already knew that I could see that first. So we're communicating on an energetic level. Oh,
Right.
this has just been so gorgeous. I think we kind of went away like down a wee windy path there, but thank you so much. I just want to finish with a couple of questions. So very quickly, because we've been talking for ages, it's just been gorgeous. What's your why, Molly? Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? To help, to be of service to, okay, I feel like, why do I do it? There's so much to this, so I want to be quick. To help people remember what they're capable of, to remind them of the beauty and the power within them, that they are divine, that they are not stuck, that no matter how challenging, how sick, how dark, how painful a situation can be, I'm getting, they can do it. It just takes the work. That's it. And it's okay. It's thinking about doing the work could be scary. But when you have people around you who've been there, who have seen that end to where you can be and who are there to support you, you can transform your life. You can get out of it. And to instill that hope, that clarity, knowing that they are not alone, that they're loved so much, if they could see just how loved they really are, That to me, and I just love being of service to others on this journey and being of service really to the Most High. I mean, that's really where it comes from, our Creator. Um, because I don't want to bring it up too much because it doesn't resonate for everyone, but I do. I really love him, her, him, the Creator. And so just being of service so people can understand that we are a piece of creation. We are a piece of that divine spark. We
Gorgeous.
are not disconnected. We are not separate. And
Yeah.
if we can just remember who we are, we can get through it all. They are supported every step of the way, and I love reminding people of that. So
That's
that's what it was.
that's so gorgeous. So tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can work with you. Where can we find you?
So I have a website. It's crossroadsmeetstheocean.com. That's one way. I do see all the emails. You can also contact me on Crossroads Meets the Ocean Rose, which is my YouTube channel. Um, Instagram, Crossroads Meets the Ocean. My name Molly Kleitch is there, but it is Crossroads Meets the Ocean. So those are just a few ways that people can get in touch with me. Absolutely.
Amazing, thank you. And I will put all the links below this conversation. And lastly, what's one thing you would say to your younger self?
Use your voice. Use your voice. Sing, speak, get excited, shine bright, dance. Do not hide. Do not hide. Quietly, do not hide your voice. Speak and just shine for all the world to see. That's what I would say, because that was something that the little Molly
Yeah,
she was so quiet. Just whew,
yeah,
let it all out.
absolutely. Take your crystals and share them with the world.
Yes, I love that. I love it. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
thank you so much for being our first guest. I will
oh.
definitely have you back on because I think we just didn't even touch the surface there. Thank you so much. Sending you so
I
much
love
love.
you.
Okay,
Bye.
guys,
Thank
I'll
you.
pop the links below for this conversation.